In a world where economies are more interconnected than ever, the rhythms of global trade are continuously evolving. Traditional powerhouses are facing challenges, and emerging economies are seizing new opportunities. Investing Path dives deep into this transformative era, exploring the tectonic shifts between China and Mexico in the manufacturing sector and what it foretells for the future of global commerce. Join us on this insightful journey as we unpack the dynamics of today and cast a visionary eye on the horizons of tomorrow. With the stroke of a pen at precisely 12:01 a.m. on July 6, 2018, a seemingly innocuous change to the harmonized tariff schedule of the United States set off ripples across global trade. Newly introduced import taxes would now be slapped onto hundreds of goods from China, marking the inauguration of the famed US-China trade war. Before we understood the enormity of this change, the value of goods, from lithium batteries to aircraft tires, faced a staggering 25% tariff upon entry to the US. And, as the war raged on, trade between the two giants faced a sharp decline. This dispute unseated China from its coveted top trading partner position, replaced by Canada and Mexico. But that was just the beginning. The world watched as a health crisis, originating from Wuhan, swept across continents, radically altering every facet of our lives. The pandemic, combined with a sudden demand surge for physical goods, led to a logistical nightmare. Shipping and manufacturing hit bottlenecks, and supply chains across the globe were thrown into chaos. Fast forward to 2022, just as things seemed to stabilize, global trade faced another blow: Russia's invasion of Ukraine. With sanctions, rising global costs, and cargo rerouting, the world braced for more uncertainty. But let's focus on China for a moment. What once thrived as the hub of low-cost manufacturing soon found itself grappling with its own success. As wages rose, paralleled by an increase in the quality of life, the cost of manufacturing in China soared. In a couple of decades, cities like Shanghai and Beijing transformed, showcasing luxuries on par with Tokyo and New York. Multinational companies started looking elsewhere for affordable manufacturing, even though China had evolved to host tech giants like Tencent, Alibaba, and the globally loved TikTok. Despite these successes, a challenge persisted: the vast physical distance between China and its largest consumer, America. With a voyage from Shanghai to Los Angeles taking upwards of 18 days and uncertain schedules, the risks were palpable. Historically, globalized trade, just-in-time manufacturing, and such concepts are recent phenomena. With events like the trade war, pandemic, and geopolitical issues challenging globalization, one wonders if we're nearing the end of peak globalization. As we step into 2023, in the realm of logistics, two predominant solutions emerge. Either strengthen the current global supply chain, inevitably increasing costs, or find an alternative source closer to home. Enter Mexico. Though not without its challenges, including corruption and infrastructure concerns, Mexico offers something unique: a border with the world's largest economy. The World Trade International Bridge, connecting Texas and Nuevo León, has seen an unprecedented surge in traffic, mainly due to the allure of manufacturing in northern Mexico. Here, firms find the perfect balance of cost and efficiency. A notable example is Hofusan Industrial Park, a vast endeavor designed to attract Chinese manufacturers. With every passing year, more Asian companies set up shop in Mexico, signaling a clear trend. While issues such as security and infrastructure persist, the appeal is undeniable. The trajectory of Chinese investment in Mexico paints a clear picture. This shift is happening now. The US-China trade war was emblematic of a broader shift in global geopolitics, with rising nationalist sentiments and protectionist policies influencing international decisions. Yet, the onset of the trade war re-emphasized that national boundaries and interests are still paramount. When tariffs were first announced, many believed it would be a temporary blip. Instead, it became a drawn-out affair that fundamentally realigned global trade routes and strategies. Many companies had grown complacent with a stable China-US trade corridor. But the tariffs were a wake-up call. It wasn't just about cost, it was about supply chain reliability. Companies that had invested billions in setting up operations in China found themselves grappling with increased costs and uncertainty. But more than that, it reignited discussions about supply chain diversification and resilience. And as China evolved, the world evolved with it. China's rapid growth, fueled by its export-led strategy, saw it ascend to global superpower status. But its very success was a double-edged sword. Rising costs and a burgeoning middle class meant that China was no longer just the factory of the world. It was becoming a major consumer in its own right. As the Chinese market matured, so did its industries. While the world was accustomed to seeing Made in China labels, a new era beckoned where Designed in China would become just as prevalent. Yet, the sheer distance and unpredictability of cross-Pacific trade presented significant challenges. This is where Mexico, with its proximity to the US and favorable trade agreements, began to shine brighter on the global stage. And it wasn't just US firms looking to shift their operations. Asian conglomerates also recognized the benefits of operating closer to the mammoth American consumer market. Yet, its potential as a bridge between the manufacturing prowess of Asia and the insatiable demand of the US is unmatched. The tides of global trade are always in flux, influenced by geopolitical events, technological advancements, and market dynamics. The US-China trade war, the pandemic, and the ensuing global challenges have been pivotal moments that have redefined how businesses operate. The shift towards Mexico is not just about cost or efficiency. It's about resilience, adaptability, and forging a new path in an ever-changing world. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Businesses and investors must remain agile, informed, and ready to pivot. As the saying goes, the only constant is change. And in the world of trade and investment, those who adapt and evolve are the ones who thrive. The complexities of global trade are evident in how interconnected and interdependent economies have become. The US-China trade war didn't just affect these two titans. The ripple effects were felt worldwide. Countries around the world took notes. They realized that the politics of one nation could significantly hamper their own economic prospects, especially if they were heavily reliant on either the US or China. This led to introspection and a re-evaluation of trade alliances. Nations began to seek more diverse trade partners, reducing their dependency on any one particular country. Simultaneously, the rise of regional trade agreements became evident. The European Union had already set a precedent, and now other regions started to explore similar alliances. Africa, for instance, is in the process of ratifying the African Continental Free Trade Area, which aims to create a single market for goods and services. The private sector, too, responded proactively. Many corporations started to future-proof their operations. Concepts like dual sourcing, where companies source a component from two suppliers located in different regions, gained traction. This ensures that if one supply chain is disrupted, the other can pick up the slack. Innovation also played a key role. Companies began to explore new methods to streamline their operations, from advanced analytics to predict supply chain disruptions to investing in technologies like 3D printing, which could, in the future, reduce dependency on distant suppliers. In essence, the US-China trade war was a paradigm shift. It underscored the need for businesses and nations to be not just efficient, but also resilient. It heralded a new era where strategy, foresight, and flexibility became paramount in navigating the intricate maze of global commerce. While the past few years have been tumultuous, they've also been a lesson in resilience. They've taught the world the importance of adaptability, the value of diversification, and the significance of foresight and planning. As nations and businesses forge ahead, these lessons will undoubtedly shape the contours of global trade and economics for decades to come. If you're finding this content valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay updated with us at Investing Path. We unravel the complexities of global trade, investments, and much more for you. In conclusion, the world of trade is evolving, and as it adapts, so must we. Remember to like this video and join us for more insightful content on the world of investments. Until next time, keep treading the investing path.